let's do a review. We've not done a review for a while, so let's review them. The Orka RS10 Cavity Back, or CB. Hello everyone, I'm Whittaker and welcome down to my simulator, where today I'm going to be reviewing the Orka RS10 CB Irons. Now these are the irons that I currently play. I've changed from the TaylorMade P790s into these clubs, and I played one round of golf with them, scored 39 points, hit them like a charm, and got cut a shot down to 16. So I am a 16 handicapper, and these tests are from a mid-handicap point of view. I'm not professional, so you're expecting mishits from all sorts over the face, and that will give you an idea of just what these irons are like. Now, these irons to me are a player's iron. They're the top of the range Orka irons. There's the CB and the MB, which is the muscle back version, slightly smaller head. We'll do a review separately on them. But these are basically one forged piece of steel, Japanese 525 carbon steel to be precise. So there's no tungsten weighting, there's no foam inside the head. There's no gimmicks, it is just a milled piece of 525C carbon steel, Japanese steel. And it is quad forged as opposed to triple forged that some of the other manufacturers do, so the feel off the face will be a lot softer, or that's what Orka claim. And from my experience playing with them for one round, I can say they're definitely softer feel. The club I'll be using today will be the 7 iron. I do have 5 to pitching wedge, but in the interest of fairness, when I do my reviews, I'll just use the 7 iron, because when I review the rest of the Orka ranges, there'll be a 7 iron as well. These are traditionally lofted, so they come as a 7 iron at 36 degrees, but you do go to Orka to get custom built for your sets, so you don't generally buy these off the shelf. I don't know of anywhere where you can buy them off the shelf. So you will be custom built for you, so you can have the lofts strengthened or weakened to your desired specifications. And the other good thing is with the custom built, each head is weighted, so there's a consistent weight across the whole range of the clubs when you do buy them, and they're all swing weighted accordingly and tested and double checked. So when they come to you, it will be as close to tolerances as possible on loft, lie, everything. So what do Orka say about these? They're saying that they're the finest wedges that they've ever made. They're exquisitely engineered and created by Japanese craftsmen from S25 carbon steel, not 525, apologies. They're quad forged, which we've explained, so there'll be no voids in the material, leading to a consistent spin across the whole face. Each head is loft and weight sorted, which we've said, and the CB features a low centre of gravity to make them easy to hit in the long irons. The centre of gravity is then raised for the shorter irons in order to offer greater feel. And each head is CNC milled, hand finished and double plated in white satin. To look at, I mean, these clubs are exquisite, and you would have seen some close-up videos and pictures in my last spiel. But the proof is in the pudding, so let's hit them. I've had these built and lofted, so they are my 150 club, as opposed to my old 30 degree 7 iron, which was, in fact that was a 150 club as well. So it just shows that these are weaker lofted and I'm hitting them the same distance because these are better fitted for me. They're just fantastic. So let's go and hit some. Sorry, the shaft that I'm using and we'll be using for all the Orka iron testing, it will be the NH9 Pro in stiff. This is the shaft that I've been fit into, so this is the shaft that I will use across the whole Orka range when I test them. But let's go and hit 10 shots, let's see what the numbers are like, and let's give you what I think about these irons. So the first thing I'll say when you look down at this club is, you know, the top line is really, really thin, but it's not the thinnest out the range, but it's certainly a player's iron. The head looks really small compared to what I'm used to. And the sole at the bottom is quite small as well. But what it does do is it kind of, I like this look, but if I was sort of a higher handicap, I'd look at this and I'd be scared, because it just looks like it offers no forgiveness at all. But let's take a few shots, say, and then let's check out the numbers. Now that one was hit a little bit low on the face, but what it did do is it still got up in the air. It peaked height at 31, spin was still good. It just lacked a little bit of distance, but you know, for such a, what I would class as a bit of a thin, it still performed really well. Much better contact on that, good carry distance, probably 5 yards short of where I want it to be, but that's down to my launch angle and that's down to my swing. Good spin numbers at 6,000, yeah, performed really well on that shot. So let's continue to hit some and see how we get on. Now that one felt good. Yep, final on the number. Okay, so that's 10 shots with that 7 iron. One slight pull to the left, but otherwise all consistently straight, or straight enough for me anyway. Distance is a little bit lacking, but that's just technique down to me, but that's why I'm a mid-handicap golfer. So let's take a look at the numbers. Let's see what sort of thing we got. Firstly, that's the dispersion. So apart from this one that just went off on the left, a little bit of a pull, they're all pretty straight because they've been fitted for me. You know, this 6 months ago just wouldn't have been happening. There'd been some over here, some over here. So that club has just kept the ball perfectly straight for me, or near to perfectly straight. But let's take a look at the numbers and see what that says. So that's all 10 shots. Let's just look at the average quickly. So average ball speed 109, a little bit down on where I want it to be. Launching at 27, which is, again, it's just a little bit too high for me. But spin rate 7,042, perfect for a 7 iron, exactly where you want it to be. Offline distance average -2 yards. Carry 142, a little bit down on where I'd want it to be. I'd want it to be pitching about 150. Its total yardage is 150. And the height is 36 yards, just slightly, a little bit too high for me. But the best shot, apart from the pull, let's just take that pull out of the way, was 154 yards. But the consistency across the board is what I want this club for, and what this club gives you. It doesn't come off hot off the face, it comes off consistent off the face. But all in all, those averages I can live with all day long. I know exactly where that ball's going. So there's the numbers, but now I want to do a little test about the playability of these irons. You know, can I draw it at will? Can I fade it at will? What happens if it comes off the toe? So I'm going to try and toe one. You know, what sort of distance do I lose there? There's my average distance for 10. Fairly good shots for me. But what happens if I toe it, and can I draw it and fade it at will? Let's find out. Right, so this shot I'm going to try and toe the ball, see what kind of distance we lose. We know my average is around 142 to 150. So what happens if I can toe this ball? How much distance do I actually lose? Yeah, completely out the toe, that one. And there you go. I've probably lost about 4 yards, 6 yards in total, and a slight fade, but that came out of, literally out of the toe there. And what it did is it just stayed consistent, and that's what I like about this club, is the consistency. Consistency over the face. You know, you're going to get your distance there or thereabout. I thinned one of those shots, it still went its distance. Let me try and heel one, see if I can heel one. Oh. Yep. A complete and utter shank. My ability does not allow me to heel one. Let me try that again. Okay, we're going to scrap the heeling idea because I can't do anything but shank it. So let's scrap the heel idea because I can't do anything but shank it. But from the toe, we definitely didn't lose a great deal of distance. And from my experience using it on the course the other day, I did toe a couple. Yes, the distance was down, but it wasn't down by much. We're talking a couple of yards. So the consistency off this face is brilliant. Let's see if we can draw and fade it at will. Bear in mind my abilities to do such a shot, but can I do it with such what is technically a player's club? So this one, I'm going to just try and draw it right of target and get it landing on target. Well, it definitely did it, because this is this line here, over, and a nice draw. All right, it's slightly right of target, but I could do it, so I could play the shot I wanted to play. Kudos to the club. Now, can I hit a fade? I used to be able to hit a fade all the time. That was my shot. Now I struggle, but can I hit a fade? Oh, off the left, get on the line. So, this one, nice high fade coming onto target. The workability of these clubs is fantastic. Someone of my ability of a 16 handicap can still draw and fade as they need to. The distances are just so consistent, regardless of where you hit it off the face, but unless you shank it, then it just goes nowhere. But I've hit it all over the face practicing, and my distances are there between 140 and 150 every time. I just can't praise this club enough. I've had Nike VR Pros, Nike VR Combos, Mizunos, TaylorMade P790s, and these. The Mizunos were my favourite club up until now, and that includes after buying. I regret buying the P790s after the Mizunos, but so far, I have to say, these clubs are fantastic. They are just phenomenal. So that's my review of this bad boy, the Orka RS10 CB. In conclusion, thin top line, smallish sole, doesn't promote forgiveness and could scare a few higher handicappers. Is this the right club for a high handicapper? Personally, I think it's probably someone, I'm 16 down. If it's my personal opinion, I think there's better Orka irons out there for someone who's a higher handicapper to be able to, get the ball out there better, get a bit more distance, sort of like the reflex iron. But that's the cool thing about Orka is no matter where you go, you'll get a custom fitting session, or you won't be able to just buy these off the shelf and find out, no, they're not the clubs for me. They will be custom fit, so no matter what iron you get, it will be built to your specification at that given time. But in a nutshell, this is the softest iron I've ever hit, and I've hit a few now. Granted, I've not played with a few, but I've hit a few, and when you hit this out the middle, the only way I can describe it is you literally don't feel like you've hit the ball. There's no jarring, or it's just so soft. Yeah, it's just a good iron. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm looking forward to testing it against the MB. I think I would personally struggle with the MB because it's a smaller head. But as for the RS10 CB, great iron, super soft, absolutely gorgeous to look at. It's probably the sexiest iron out of the range in my opinion. And it's just good value for money. I strongly recommend you go to an Orka fitter like we are here, and just give it a try. The only thing you can do is give it a try. But yeah, it's just a great iron. But like anything when it comes to club reviews, this is just my experience and it's my personal opinion, so don't take that as gospel. I just want to give you an idea of what the RS10 is like. Best advice you can be given is always get a custom fitting when you're buying any golf club. Try not to buy them off the shelves. Go and get custom fitted and get them built for you, for your swing at that given time. But if you're around my handicap level, go to an Orka fitter and just give them a hit. I think you'll be very surprised. So thank you very much for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I will be reviewing the whole of the Orka range over the next couple of months. All the irons, the hybrids, driver, the woods, etc. Please give this video a like if you can, and if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever I upload any more videos, whether it be reviews, vlogs, course vlogs, etc. But thank you very much for taking your time out of your day to watch my video, and I hope you have a great rest of the day and the rest of the week. Thank you again.